Hi, my name is Levi Evans. You're listening to We Found New Music with Grant Owens, and this is Talk About It. Step in the door like a cannonball, straight to the neck like an animal. Always at odds, never even. Back on the hook, couldn't let it go. All of our words busy bleeding, on and on it goes. Whoa, get it out of your head. Fight the feeling, or it's war instead. Can we talk about it? Talk about it. Whoa, get it out of your skull. Fight the feeling till the feeling goes numb. Can you talk about it? Talk about it. Talk about it. Off from your chest like a heart attack. Once you've gone mad, there's no going back. I'm losing myself in the stereo, living a life through a microscope. I'm getting lost in the mess we made, caught in the trap of a falling blade. Can we just talk, get the middle made? Try to meet me there. Whoa, get it out of your head. Fight the feeling, or it's war instead. Can we talk about it? Talk about it. Whoa, get it out of your skull. Fight the feeling till the feeling goes numb. Can we talk about it? Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Reason turned to stone, nothing left to show. Drain out all the way. Can't find the words, you take your aim. Take your aim. Take your aim. Whoa, get it out of your head. Fight the feeling, or it's war instead. Can we talk about it? Talk about it. Whoa, oh, get it out of your skull. Fight the feeling till the feeling goes numb. Talk about it. Can we just talk about it? Talk about it. Talk about it. Hi, my name is Levi Evans. You are listening to We Found New Music with Grant Owens, and this is Complicated. It was uninvited when it stole from me. Never did I want a haunting now. Light the candles, set the scene. Heaviness so complicated, headlights to a deer. God must be exasperated, starting off the year. And I'm not sure quite why I'm staring at the door, thinking you come home. Come home. Hope the time will help me but I'm going mad. Knock the candles, burn it to the ground if it puts things back. Heaviness so complicated, headlights to a deer. God must be exasperated, starting off the year. And I'm not sure quite why I'm staring at the door, thinking you come home. Come home. Come home. Heaviness so complicated, headlights to a deer. God must be exasperated, starting off the year. And I'm not sure quite why I'm staring at the door, thinking you come home.
Grant Owen's back on We Found New Music. We are joined by Levi Evans. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Your new single is coming out called Complicated off of the forthcoming EP titled Head Chatter, on its way. So again, we're really stoked with the music. So thank you for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you. I think I describe my music as, alternative. I think more on the rock side. There's definitely some pop in there too. But yeah, it's kind of a mix of a bunch of different genres, I'd say.
Yeah, tell me about your creative process. What's your favorite part, and how do you feel like you found your sound? Did you kind of come upon it naturally, or?
Yeah, so I started singing when I was about 20 because, I first started producing when I was about 16, but it was more like hip-hop stuff. So then around 20, I started singing more. So really the past couple of years have been like I've been finding my sound more. And the creative process, it's kind of shapeless because how things are born always is different. So a lot of the things right now my favorite thing is like I love creating kind of like hard hitting drums, but like a lot of and then kind of building around those things. But a lot of the songs I've written as well have just been with an acoustic guitar. Yeah, it's kind of.
And that's kind of important to be able to strip it down to the basics and still have something there.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
Totally.
But that's cool. So you said you also play drums? Or?
No, I just program drums. I wish. That's the one thing, like, I am so bad at the drums. It's
really?
Like, yeah, embarrassingly bad. Yeah.
It's tricky, right?
It is, dude. The coordination, I just don't got it.
I'm always amazed with drummers that can also sing at the same time.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's like coordination, like crazy coordination right there. So, I mean, what made you choose music as a focus for yourself?
I've always been creative. So when I was younger, I wanted to draw and I wanted to animate. And then I have pretty bad ADHD, so I learned pretty quickly. My patience I didn't have the patience for animation or any of that. Just the time was crazy. So I felt like music, for me, I always played when I was younger, but I didn't really think I could do it as a career. And it wasn't until, like I said previously, I was 16, I was producing. And then when it was time to go to college, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. So then I went to music school. And then that's when I was like, wait, I could maybe do this for like a career. And then, I think as artists expressing yourself, I found that music was one of the most potent ways to kind of get things off my chest,
Yeah. What does your creative process look like?
Right now, again, like it's always changing. But yeah, now I've been like really thinking about live elements. So just getting the energy down. So like I said, like starting with that like drum beat or like a energetic guitar line or something and just running off that and see where it takes me.
Yeah. Cool. So some of these tracks are, what would you feel is like your favorite song you've made so far?
That's hard. I think right now, Chronic, I'd say, is my favorite just because just the feeling of it. I love that. And I did that song, me and Dex Barstad, we did that song together, and yeah, I just love it. So
Right on. Cool.
yeah.
So, what can we expect next? So you have a project on the way.
Yeah.
I think you were mentioning something that you had just been touring a little bit.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
Just got off my first tour. We were opening for Little Image, which was like I couldn't have asked for a better first tour. Hastings was the main support, and we were the opening act, and just like really good guys, and just amazing performers. So seeing that and like looking up to them and being like, all right, that's the goal, like where I want, you know what I mean? So it was really inspiring, and just like, yeah, it was great.
That sounds like a perfect experience. Was that your first tour?
Yeah, that was my first tour. Yeah.
So what a great experience for your first tour.
Yeah.
So go check out those artists as well. Little Image.
Yeah.
You wanna shout anybody else out you've been loving?
Yeah. Yeah. Who else?
Hastings.
Yeah, Hastings. Yeah,
Little
Hastings.
Image.
Little Image. Those guys, definitely go check them out. They're great. Yeah, I've been kind of in the creative mode right now, so I've just been living under a rock, because I feel like a lot of artists are like this, where it's like they compare themselves, and like also, so I try not to have, try to have as little influence from other artists while I'm kind of, you know, in the creative process. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one thing to compare yourself, but I'm sure I'm curious who you've been inspired by in the last several years. I know you mentioned you originally started with hip hop.
Yeah.
But you know, who did you always go back to that you listened to as a kid that kind of just like continued to grow with you, or maybe you outgrew it and now you're a huge fan of somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, I always, The Strokes is always kind of on the playlists. I've been listening to a lot of Tame Impala recently, especially he has this live album, and leading up to the tour, I was listening to it. It was like, I think it's like live in Chicago or something. It's on Spotify, but I was just like listening to that because like it was just such a sick, you know, live album. Also like Cage the Elephant, also I think also live in Chicago, they had an album too. It's just like listening to those guys and their albums, their live versions, has been something that's been kind of on repeat.
Seems like you gravitate towards the live sound for a band.
Yeah, I think because I didn't for so long, and now I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm just like trying to, you know,
it's research.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. So it's like you used to listen to studio stuff, and now you're trying to put together, you know, the best way to do the live experience anyway.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you were you on the road as a kid?
I was. My folks, my dad is in the industry, so I would follow him on tour all the time. And then when I started kind of going to secondary school, because I was in Dublin, Ireland for a while, which secondary school is like what is it, like middle school basically. So then that's when I started I settled down a little bit, because I was like, I went to school in New York, I went to school in Ireland, I went to school in LA, like I was all over the place. But yeah, I was a couple years in middle school and a bit of high school in Ireland, and then I moved to LA when I was about 15. Yeah, 14. Yeah.
Cool. And at 15, did you ever study music, or was there a different focus? Was it just basic school? You know, you're young at that point, or did you do any specialty classes?
It was when I first moved here, I was kind of, you know, I was just that kid trying to find himself still, kind of, you know, lashing out, little troublemaker, you know, like a lot of us were when we're trying to figure who we are. But yeah, when I was about 16, I did a music production course it was an after school program in the first high school I attended when I first moved here. And yeah, I started messing around in GarageBand, and that's how I kind of got into it.
Thank you, Apple, for giving us GarageBand.
Seriously.
Legit. Cool, man. Well, yeah, thanks for catching up a little bit. Is there anything else you wanted to share with listeners?
Yeah, we have the final single leading up to the EP coming out October 20th, and that's called Complicated. So we have one more single, and then the EP drops next year. Yeah.
Okay, Complicated is on the way. I guess to backtrack, what are you writing about with some of these songs?
You know, the writing process for me, I think there's only so much, you know, we can say from personal experience. So recently I've been drawing from personal experiences, but also like writing kind of stories from other people's perspectives. So it's kind of a mix of those things, you know, and kind of empathizing with the characters or with these people that are just, you know, I'm sort of channeling. I don't know, not to be like sound too deep about it, but I definitely think that storytelling is something that I'm really interested in when writing. So kind of having personal experiences, but then mixing it with other people, like, you know, with kind of, storytelling. So that's kind of what's been going on.
Definitely. It's good to get in your head to see where you're at. Well, thank you so much, Levi Evans. Again, the EP's coming out.
Yeah.
So stream a bunch of great songs now and look out for more in the future. Levi Evans, thank you so much for joining me on We Found Music.